fellow students. Older people to enhance learning. That is why we now celebrate Grandparent Day. You know that. Learning tasks must be designed to enable children to seek out knowledge from sites other than textbooks, moving away from the textbooks, making use of the sites. Next, just a minute. Need therefore to move away from the rigid lesson planning to planning and designing activities that challenge children to think and try. This is extremely important. For those teachers who are here from the primary section, please note your instructions whenever you teach anything to primary children should be activity based, not on content based. Have you understood? You have to design activity to make them understand. Please note, for other 6 onwards, there can be less activities, more contents. And 10th, 11th is totally content. It is totally information plus knowledge. So those who are sitting in primary, please ensure that if you are teaching some concept and you are not doing the activity, then you are going against NCR. You are going against CBSE principles of the CBSE curriculum. Have you understood? So what we say, it is an activity-based teaching in primary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And less activity, more content-based in higher classes. As you go, activities become less, higher, and content becomes more. So while making your lesson planning, that is why I was talking to Jay sir, and I don't know how you have made your lesson plans, but you have made it a good thing. But those lesson plans for primary I am talking, you have to show the activities. Certain activities are written in the book. Certain activities you have to devise, you have to think. You have to think how to do that activity. And activity will require children to take part. It is a participatory approach of learning. Have you understood? You have to emphasize now on what? Teaching or learning? Learning by the children. You will say, sir, if we do not teach, how they will learn? No. Your evaluation that you are a perfect teacher will not be checked how you do it like an actor on the board. No. We will ask the children, have you understood or not? If they have understood, you are the best teacher. If they have not understood, then you have to change your technique, your method. Have you understood or not? So please check every time if you are taught a concept the children have learnt or not. If maximum children learn, you are successful. If 100% children have learned, you are the best teacher. 50% have learned, you are 50% teacher. Yesterday I was telling you that emphasis has shifted from teaching to learning, teaching by teacher to learning by students. So you have to ensure that learning takes place. Therefore, you are required to know each and every child, not only by the name. You are required to know what is his learning style. Please write down some of your learning style. Also with this you write multiple intelligence. All children do not learn with the same style. Many of them learn when they are listening. They learn when they can visualize. And mathematics teachers who are here, I request them that when you teach mathematics, you should, because mathematics is totally abstraction, you have to tell them how to visualize abstractions. Consider a cube, cut it. They should actually see cube being cut. If you teach like, I had given a question in my Akshara school in class 5th. I told a child that there is a cube, he knows the cube, and I told that I cut it like this once. How much surface area has it reached? He started doing mathematics, area is this thing, and he arrived at, one child said, sir, this is cut. There are 2 surfaces coming out. One is already there, so only that much area. This is how mathematics can be taught. Make children to learn picturizing the thing. It's not only, if you are teaching English, you can tell them actually to see happening. And why I was talking to my teachers, when you plan a thing, for example, you plan, how do you plan? We give you an event to plan. For example, we tell you, you have to conduct the concert. Plan it. Now you take a paper and pencil, you start thinking what. Instead, you should see it happening. You are standing outside a hall, you are seeing VIPs coming there is a reception committee, right reception committee, greeting them, giving them flowers, right flowers, make them sitting. There has to be somebody who takes them, write down duty to carry them. You look at the board, you see a banner there, write down the banner, give the duty to them. So planning requires a lot of pictorial representation in your imagination. The better you do that, the better teacher you are. I am telling you, because we had conducted a seminar here 2.5 years back when I joined in 2012. We had invited some person and he has done it. He said that children who can think and make pictures in their mind of what a teacher speaks are better learners than who listen to hear. So kindly find out something on learning style. Also find out on multiple intelligence. Why I am telling you, in my time when I was a student, I was good in math, so I was intelligent. Anybody who was in sports, not understanding math, was not intelligent. It is totally changed. A child who covers 100 meters, what is the record, Sujata? 100-meter record can be in 10 seconds. Huh? 9 point something. A child who covers 100 meters in 10 is extremely intelligent, because while he is running, his computer is calculating his speed and he is motivating him to do. So that is an intelligence. So nowadays intelligence is not restricted only to the scholastic subjects. It has spread beyond, and that comes under multiple intelligence. Please read that. A child who is excelling in sports, who is a top class Indian boxer, is as intelligent as anybody who has got a Nobel Prize in English or peace or anything. So you have to learn about what are various learning styles. I don't want you to learn today only. Go today and sit, sir has given me that. No. These are the things as a teacher, when you are in the profession, you are required to know it. We will conduct more training courses on this. So these things you keep on noting, because you have to do that. If you see, look at that. I was on need therefore to move away from the rigid lesson planning to planning and designing activities. Note this, designing activities. Here I interrupted and told you that in primary, learning has to be activity based. And I hope all of you have understood. Can you show the next one? Learning and knowledge continues. Therefore, child must be encouraged to ask questions. If a child asks a question, if I do not know, I tell him, okay, sit down, don't ask. Or don't try to act very smart. You are trying to check my knowledge because we don't have answers. This mostly happens in higher classes. Please respect him and tell him, don't worry, I am not able to correctly reply. I may at present moment reply you wrong. It may be wrong because I am not certain. So give me time, I will do that. And please note, questions are never wrong. Please note this. Questions can never be wrong. Answers to those questions can be wrong. Try to understand this also. If a child asks you a question which looks absurd, silly, you have not properly understood the child. Because questions can never be wrong. Answers to the questions can be wrong. Because you immediately think that this is a question, this should be the answer. So, therefore, you have to motivate children to ask questions. And when you finish your lesson, please tell them, you ask questions, otherwise I will ask questions. You have to make them. You have to motivate them. Children of very small age will never ask questions. So better you people ask questions to check their knowledge whether they have received or not. You have taught extremely well, but children have not learned, so your efforts are zero. How do we evaluate a teacher? By the results of the class, by the performance of the students, by the way they reply. I ask questions to the children, they reply. I give credit to the teachers first, then to the parents and the child. So kindly adopt that method.